Well, look who made it back. Yo, thank you for supporting the channel. We got a bunch of episodes filled with info on how we host, funny guest story with your boy Tay, current news with Shellie, and special guest appearances. Also feature some local music artists for the outro, so make sure you stick around to the end, my friend, and keep all the links in the description. Dropping gems. So sit back and relax and enjoy the show.
You've never heard of my brother Van?
Okay, YouTube land, what's good? This is your host from the Gulf Coast doing the most.
Doing the most.
Donte.
And Shellie.
We are the yin and yang of Short-Term Rentals podcast. So sit back and relax and enjoy the show. Booyaka, booyaka, booyaka. Animal noises.
Darn fools.
And cut.
All right, so we're back. I believe we were transitioning. What was that?
It was my fake out basketball.
I just saw Jess at the corner of my eye. I was like, did she look at this?
Yeah, listen, never actually made a basket, but
But
I can play the
you
game.
can look like you, Dan.
Yeah. I studied the form enough to look like I can play,
That
but
wasn't
not
bad.
actually succeed in
You
playing.
told me you played high school basketball in Miami, I would believe you.
Yeah. That's why you can't believe the hype. That's going back to our bad guess. Can't believe the hype.
So a little backstory was set up on this segment. I started 6 months ago, about 9 months ago now.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
January is when I started. So my first 2 months of being a host, I got one guest, and it was during January and February, and it was very slow. But after we're a very seasonal area in this area of the country, in Pensacola, Florida, Navarre, Florida, Panhandle, Florida.
Shout out to the Panhandle.
Yeah, for sure. And I had a string of really great guests, and guests of all demographics, old, young. There was families, there was kids, there was pets. I was very happy because those first maybe 4 guests, I was on edge the whole time they were here. One of my guests, he might have been my second or third guest, was like, "Hey, I got a friend coming over at 3 a.m." And I was like, "They are about to rob me." This is the setup.
About to get me.
And he was from France. So I was like, oh man,
he ain't got no friends over here.
This is an international guy. He going back to his home country. They hit licks in America and go back to France. This is big time. So I'm like, my stuff is close. I am on alert. And whoop de whoop. They wound up being real cool. His friend was a bartender, so he got off late and he wanted to hang out with him while he was there. So I sacrificed some comfortability and it helped me get that 5-star rating, baby. You know what I'm saying? But out of all the guests, there were a couple guests, and it was only maybe a couple that I don't even know if I would call them a bad guest, but we had very awkward interactions, and they definitely broke rules. So I guess you could say they're bad arrests, but it wasn't malicious, evil, intended people. They just try to exploit situation. I guess some people, and this only happened in the summertime, so I got like a different type of guest, or maybe another type of guest in the summer, like people wanting to party and wanting to real party mode. Like the summers in the Gulf Coast are very festive. Everybody wants to be outside. Everybody wants to drink hard. Everybody wants to turn up. People from out of town come down and turn up. The locals want to turn up. It's people from the school system out. There's a lot of activity. Just all of a sudden, a lot going on. So I get a booking, and this is some of the things that you look out for when you're kind of vetting your guests, is like their pictures, their how much information they have as a guest, the time that they try to book, how interactive they are. I usually ask guests questions like, well, what brings you down here? Do a little bit of vetting before I accept. This person hit me up at almost 10 o'clock and was like, yo, I'm downtown, I need a place to crash. And I was like, okay, you might be really drunk. You might be just want a place to lay. I don't mind. I had my Instabook on, so it was I think I enabled where I can at least ask a question or something like that. I can't remember what it was.
Nah, because you can't ask squat with Instabook.
Okay, so maybe I didn't have it on.
Yeah.
But I know I did test it during the summer just to see, but it could have been after the situation. So anyways, guy's like, yeah. And he doesn't have he's really weird with how he's responding a little bit. Like he's a little delayed, but he's also urgent. Like he's like, I need something right now, but when you respond, he doesn't really respond quickly. So you're like, all right, like I thought you. So that's like we're so whatever. So anyways, I let this guy come. He pays, and he's only gonna sleep there for like just the night. I'm like, this is easy.
Okay.
So I book him, and I was like, hey man, just let me know when you're coming. Da, da, da. He doesn't say anything for like another hour. So I'm like, I don't know if he's coming or not.
Because this started at 10 p.m., right?
Yeah. So this is like, so now it's like 11 or midnight. And then all of a sudden I'm like, man, I was going to wait for this dude and like, da da da. But I'm about to go to bed, man. I'm kind of like, whatever. Like, he's got the code. He can come in, just crash. Everything's explained.
Oh, so you had already accepted then?
I had already accepted.
Gotcha. Okay.
So I go, man, I'm about to go to bed. I'm tired. It's been a long day. They'll be fine. All of a sudden, at like 12:30, maybe 1 a.m., I hear the door open, and there's several voices. And I was like, so I have a camera. I have a Ring camera. So initially I'm like, he said it was just him and his girl. How many people? Why is there like 3 or 4 voices? Why am I hearing those? So I look at my camera. These joy.
Oh my gosh.
There is 2 or 3 cars of young, like college age kids, probably from Lower Alabama somewhere.
Oh my
That
gosh.
pulled up to my one room rental Airbnb for an after party.
Oh my God.
They came deep. I'm talking, there's probably like 15 people in these streets. Like they were deep. Everybody was like, we're trying to find a spot after wherever we were. Like, so they got one of their friends to book a spot for everybody to come to. And he probably didn't read that I was there. Because I say in my details, I am here. Some people, I guess, don't read and be like, so check this out, Tim. I remember, I was like, yo, there's a bunch of these kids in here. I don't really know them here. I know I'm going to pull up at this thing, and they're going to be so shocked. Because I knew they were young, and they're like, oh, bro, this grown black man about to come out of this room with his dreads, looking mean. Like, I was like, I thought about coming out there with my thing, but I was like, no, I'm just going to be like real cool just to let everybody, like, see if we can just be all civil, because I didn't know. And I go out there, and their faces, bro. Like, when I came out, and they were in my fridge, one of them was in my fridge, just like talking. He was looking at my food like he's about to eat it. Like he was just like, oh look. I remember they was like, oh, they got da 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 da. Oh, we got some da 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 in here. You got some hot pockets. Like, oh, bro, I'm so hungry. Da, da.
They had the munchies.
Bro, they was ready to like pig out on all this. So they come out and they look at me and they just like jaws drop. Like some of them were coming in and out, going back to the car, talking to people on the phone outside. Doing all. It was like it just became hella active. And 3 of them just see me and they just like, I'm like, yo, who's? I'm like, I don't forget the guy's name.
Yeah.
I was like, yo, where Brandon at?
Yeah.
Like,
we're Brandon at.
Where Brandon? It's like, oh, it's like, yeah, this is my house. Like, where's Brandon at? And you talk to Brandon. I don't talk to none of y'all.
That's right. I want Brandon.
Like, oh, he's so good.
Before we jump into today's topic, we ask that you do 3 things. 1, hit the like button because Donte's single and he needs some likes in his life.
And I'm almost ready to mingle.
Oh my gosh. 2, click the subscribe button so that you can participate in our giveaways, which will be specific to our subscribers.
Because we love y'all.
Love y'all. You don't love y'all. They don't love y'all. What's wrong with you? Please click on the notification bell and share it. Notification's going to let you know every time we drop something new. And the share button is because sharing is caring.
Sharing is caring. All right. Let's get into it. Boom. Shakalaka.
So Brandon had went to the room with this girl because they were him and his girl. And he comes out and he's like, hey, man, let me talk to you. So I just pulled him to the side like, hey, I'm going to be real cool, but this ain't the place for that.
That's right.
You're going to have the off parts. Like, I was just real cool and friends. Like, yo, I know what you're trying to do. You're trying to have our spot. So this ain't the place, bro. So if you can stay because you did pay, if y'all want to stay, I'll let you have the opportunity to stay, but all your friends got to go. Because I was like, he paid money. If he's okay with just like respecting that, it's like he's young. Like I was a young guy, I done done things like
Yeah, you done tried it. He tried
so I'm
it.
like, hey man, you tried your shot. It didn't work out, but you drunk obviously, so I ain't about to kick everybody out. Like if you need a place to stay, you and the girl's like, fine, man. Like I'd rather you just learn your lesson and ride it out. And he was like, all right, man. No, I think we'll just cancel it and find another spot. Da da da. And he's supposed to talk to everybody. So he's like, hey guys, da da da. And then I go out there and just right behind them, just looking at everybody, and they're like, oh, sorry, man. Like, oh, sorry, da da da. And then one guy comes up to me and was like, do you know where another spot we can go to? he just wanted to get his party in, man. He was like, hey man, where should we go? Like, we're just trying to find a spot to like kick back and hang out and drink, and where I was like, man, we just go to the beach, really. Like you might just want to call it a night, go back home and kick it at your spot and after party, bro. I'm like, you ain't a lot of options. So it was just very funny because there was like 15 dudes. I remember I told my mom the story and she was like, oh my God. Are you serious? No. Da-da. She was like, how are you going to act all calm about this? I was like, they weren't mean. They weren't bad people. They just kids trying to just have fun.
Oh my gosh.
It was super funny.
That is hilarious.
The look on their faces, Shellie, was so funny because it was just all of them were like kind of scared. I could just feel there was some fear. Like, is he going to like get crazy on us or not?
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah. So.
Absolutely.
And they pulled off in their honka-tonks and everything, loud. All my neighbors was probably like, what the hell happened?
Okay, I got a couple of questions.
Go ahead.
I didn't want to interrupt the story,
ahead.
But I got a couple of questions.
Question number one.
Question numero uno. Do you have a separate lock on your door?
Yes.
Okay, so you do.
All doors can be locked.
Okay. Second question on this is, so I know that yours has now, people have, they can use the kitchen and blah, blah, blah. For those that don't know, he does have a beautiful home. He rents out one room.
Yeah.
And he gives access to common areas, kitchen, living room, stuff like that. Laundry.
Yeah. They give you mi casa, su casa.
Right. So my next question is, do you have the no party option checked on your listing?
That's a great question, Shellie. That is a great question. I didn't even realize that was a thing in the app. So, to be honest, Your Honor, I would have to review the tapes because my memory can fail me sometimes. But I don't know. To be honest, I have no idea. Like I remember when I was setting this up, I had a friend who was doing the same thing. He really put me on to it because it was him and his wife, and they're renting out just one of their rooms. And I never thought about renting out a room until I met this dude who was my homie from music. And he was like, yeah, man, we make da-da-da. We just do this. And they have a great location close to the beach. So I remember just thinking like, okay, I'm just going to see what kind of things they have set up. Like, what do they tell guests? So I kind of much like copied and pasted what they had. And then I nitpicked and adjusted things. So I do have like a quiet time in my details that say that.
Okay.
But I don't think I have like a party.
Yeah, because there's an option, in the house rules.
Wow.
And you can check our parties against it. And if it's no to that, then
I'm okay with a cool party if I'm in the loop about it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
okay, then you probably don't have that.
Like if you got a group of people, if y'all want to pull up, y'all. I mean, I'll party as long as I can party with y'all. Like, that could be a good time.
I gotta get an invite.
That could be a good time. I'm just real big on communication. Like, I don't want to be surprised with a party.
Yeah. No, I get that.
Because at 1 a.m. when you're surprised at a party, this is not a comfortable situation to be in. People be wild,
And that's why I was wondering, because see, that right there is one of the main reasons. I probably got a laundry list, but that is one of the main reasons I was like, no, that got to be a whole separate space before I ever get into Airbnb.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be there. They're not going to
Understandable.
be with me. And so, although I still do have the no party thing, I am open to certain events.
Yeah.
Just because, again, what I put into the furnishings and blah, 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 is plenty of space for sure. But I don't want nobody tearing my stuff up.
For sure.
So, and obviously you have air cover and things of that nature. But I'm open to certain events like a baby shower, a bridal shower, or da da da. I'm not open to a bachelorette party. I'm not open to stuff wilding out, right?
Yeah.
But it was like, oh, you want to do a book club? You know what I'm saying? You know, a page from your mama's. Read a book. What? She did her homework, right?
We could have a study group. You can run a personal study group.
Yeah. That's not a study group. It's like a book club. Like people, I know your butt don't be reading, but
Hey, I got books everywhere.
people be reading, and then they sit together, they discuss it, some hors d'oeuvres, some drinks.
Yeah. I'm just saying, like, some
Sober
people
book
have.
club.
There might be like some other kind of mid-act like events you could host, like a tutoring session or like
I
a
can't
yoga
with
class.
you.
You
I
know what I'm
can't with
saying?
you.
Like,
I can't with
I was
you.
I was just throwing some more in the bucket. That's all.
Anyway, but yeah, that right there, you know, not that it would be like, oh, okay, but I'm just wondering why they weren't looking for a separate a space without anybody. But again, if they didn't know you were there.
Yeah, I think people weren't really reading. So, like, I had some other guest stories about that, and they all really kind of, I feel like they all have the same connection of just people not reading the details and like the secondary things when you're booking. That would, because a couple people were surprised to see me there, and I was like, I tell you, I'm there. Did you not read? And they're like,
No, because it's
"Oh."
10 o'clock at night and I'm drunk. Oh, no, I didn't read it.
Oh man, but yeah, so that's like one of my bad guesses. That was my first bad guess, and it definitely was. I know one of a lot of people's big concerns about doing things, especially being there. But I just also want to say that not all of those interactions are very bad and very negative. People can be just assuming, but also be respectful in those situations. And I had some young people, who were very respectful, and they exited it when I asked. So. I don't think it was a big deal. It's just very awkward. And now it's a hilarious story because I'm like, bro, I just scared all those kids. And they might think about that next time they're
Oh, they will. Oh, they're telling that story. Trust me. They're telling that story.
The next day,
Yeah.
Yo, dude, this black dude with dreads pulled out. Yo, I thought he had a gun, man. I was so
What
scared.
Brandon there?
Like, I was going to go to and he was like, man, I was scared. I was going to go to my truck, bro. Like, I ain't scared. Like, what's up, bro? Like, I got my dad's gun.
My dad's gun.
It had a shootout, and I'm like, they wouldn't talk big hard, you know what I'm saying? But it is what it is. It's all good.
All right, y'all. Till next time.
My dearest woman, this old house is damned to hell. Let it go too long without a care. Let's put some work into it, won't take long, it's overdue. Make this old house like